So hey everyone, I'm back. I'm sorry, I have been trying to work on this since Easter, but for some reason I was having a mental blank. This was the next one for doing a part or two, and then I was going to go back to Millie Marotta's line and continue that. So we're definitely not done with those. We are coming back to them. So I did find a few comments I hadn't been notified about on my YouTube page about this, and people saying they wished I'd finished it, and I'm sorry about that. I am going to finish this image. It's just I unfortunately got really behind and couldn't catch up, and so I'm now working on catching up on these things. And so yeah, I pretty much spent the last however many days trying to work out colours because of my mental block and all of that sort of stuff. But please note that I will be finishing images I start on this channel. I know it's been about 9 months, which I was shocked that it's been that long since I started this image. So I am going to keep going on this and we'll finish it. It'll be a lot easier now with having faster internet speed and that, but I really do apologise for not finishing this sooner. So we will be getting back to all these images and completing them. They aren't going to go uncompleted by any means. I've just finished the part for Jonah Basford's This Book Belongs To. I've finally finished the backgrounds on that, so I'm so happy I've completed that part. And I think the other ones that I'm working on is a Derwent Studio one with is it Layla Julie's colouring yearbook or whichever it is. Then I've also got Millie Marotta's one, Serene, and well, this one, which is Emelie Lidhall Oberg's, and Mythomorphia. So you know I'm going to be rotating around between them, so it won't just all be one till it's finished. It'll be rotating between them so that all of them are getting done, so you don't think I'm going to leave them behind like I did in the past. So I really am sorry about that. So yeah, so you can see it. This book is by Gibbs Smith. So it's FairyTales by Emelie Lidhall Oberg, and we're just going to be continuing with this image with some pretty cupcakes and birds and cake and soda pop and all of that. So I went back through my video and found out the colours of the leaves and the raspberries so that I can continue them with the same colours. And pretty much what I'm thinking of working on is a bit of these leaves, this raspberry, and finishing this cupcake today. I'll see, I may go a bit longer just so that we can pretty much get a bit more in for this one since I haven't done it for a while. So I know some of my videos go to about the 3 hour mark, so I just stop and transfer them onto my computer and then continue. So we'll see how we go, but I've kind of got an idea for the icing of this cupcake. I'm thinking like, if possible, like a lime green and yellow cupcake icing with this one, and I think that could be quite cool. And it looks like that one's actually been taken out of the paper cup, possibly. I don't know, there could be paper cups without the stripes like this one, but yeah, so I am considering just making it a lot longer video and starting on this cupcake here so that we get a lot more progression. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy this. Also, from looking at it, I think I was doing the light tones from this way, so it was coming across this way. So we're going to basically continue that. A cupcake base is basically going to be browns, so I'm not going to tell all the colours straight off because I've realised that doesn't always work because I don't always use all the colours. So pretty much I'm just going to do the colours one at a time. So yeah, we're pretty much going to start with Tuscan Red. This is Prismacolour Premier with the 150 set again. And we're going to start with our Tuscan Red PC937. And we're basically going to use that to start creating some shadow depths. So where all these cupcake papers are, I've also been working on improving like how I colour, so my hand's not completely over the image, because I was getting frustrated as anything with that when I did that. So we're using our Tuscan Red, and we're basically just bringing it in anywhere there would be shadows. So because our light source is coming this way, we're probably pretty much going to have shadows around where the cupcake paper is, up around the side here. I'm not sure about this little, oh yeah, there probably would be, but most of our light is actually going to be in this center area where we've got it. So we're just bringing in the darkest bits currently, and then we will bring in our light tones to make it easier to blend them in together. I'm so happy to have finally worked out how I want to do this. And it actually all came down to basically, in the end, I finally thought, why am I not testing the colours on the paper? So I started just playing with colour variations on the paper, and this colour tone here, this pinky tone, that's going to be our cupcake paper, which I think is quite pretty and fits in with the icing and stuff on here. And we may have different cupcake paper colours with each too, because of the fact that there are many different types out there. I was actually Googling images of cupcake paper cups trying to work things out. And this is the colour tones that I was considering for the actual cupcake, because I kind of wanted the brown cupcake. I know you can have colour dyed cupcakes and stuff, but I just wanted a brown cupcake with the coloured icing that we've got. So yeah, helpful hint, if you get stuck, just start playing with colours on paper. And that's just the spare envelope that I've been playing on. And my dog's decided she wants attention now, and she's given up. But yes, I'm so happy to be able to continue it. So I did have time away for Easter, and I didn't get anything in advance for that, but I'm going to aim to do so from now on when I go away, so that you all have something whilst I'm away to be able to do and watch and look at and learn kind of thing, because I like being able to leave things there. It's cool. So yeah. I was actually reading some of the comments, and this video was actually the one that made me a bit self-conscious about how I was colouring with the hand, and that, like, people said they could see it, but one person left a comment saying that they couldn't see anything that was being done and all of that. So that's kind of been kind of self-conscious about that since, but now I'm kind of, shall we say, noticing improvement with the way I do it, so that you can actually see it. And that was basically me deciding, no, I need to work on learning another way to colour so that I can see this, because I was getting mighty annoyed with my hand being in the way all the time of the videos, and thinking, how are people going to be able to learn when my hand's just blocking it a lot of the time, kind of thing. So since then I've actually been working on this, and I know it's only the third or fourth video that I'm trying to do it this way, but I'm finding each time I am getting so much more comfortable with doing it, kind of thing, and colouring this different way. And it actually, I have noticed a huge improvement in the quality of my videos since I've been doing that, because you can actually see what's going on. So that's awesome. Just need to remember to keep an eye on the time and not let the camera battery die. But I'm finding the more I do this, the more I find ways of being able to, shall we say, achieve quicker ways of editing, like having the royalty-free music on in the background. That actually saves me having to spend hours adding in music, and it also allows me to still talk to you and work that out. So, and it's just relaxing having some music in the background. I love having music in the background when I'm colouring. So yeah, I'm just finding the more I do it, the more I start refining things, and it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing because it means I'm improving. So yeah, we actually have teachers in our family, so I'm wondering if that's where this is coming from. So next we're going to come in with Terracotta PC944, and as usual we're going to bring that over every colour. So this is just deepening that Tuscan Red and that. And we do want our lighter shades in there too. We're going around, there's a heap of little spots you'll see on this image. We're actually going around those because I intend on adding like a different colour in those spots, I'm thinking. I'm not quite sure which colour yet, but we'll work it out like usual. But if you do colour over one of those spots, don't worry about it. It's not a huge deal or the end of the world. Because I do it all the time, as you'll notice in my videos. Just making sure that we have our light areas in there to make it easier to blend the colours together. As usual, I'll just try zooming in a bit closer just so you can see what I'm doing, because I realised I still had it zoomed out. Sorry about that. I forgot I start with it zoomed out basically to start the recording so you can see the full image, and then I zoom in the majority of the time, but I forgot that this time, so it's fixed now. So as you'll see, this is the Tuscan Red bits around here, and we're just adding in our terracotta over those areas. It's getting to look like a bit of a burnt cupcake, or it's been in the oven a little long. But I kind of wanted that deep, rich brown, or maybe it's a chocolate cupcake. Yeah, that would work. Chocolate cupcake with purple frosting. Nice. So we got our chocolate cupcake here. Who likes chocolate cupcakes? So I know usually they don't come out this dark unless they're chocolate. They come out this dark and they're not a chocolate flavoured cupcake, usually that means they're burnt. Those are just black spots, so I'm just colouring over the black spots. I'm actually thinking of making the cupcake spots black or a very dark brown so that it's like it's chocolate chip, chocolate cupcake. That would be a very rich cupcake. So next we're coming in with Burnt Ochre PC943, and I had that out of the camera range because I'm forgetting I have it zoomed in now. And we're going to colour that over every colour again. And that's our final colour for this part. My dog's snorting. She's talking to me. She's trying to get attention again before and I'd started this. She's like, you're supposed to be giving me attention, Mama, not the video. She's like, forget those people, pay attention to me. And I was like, nope, not happening. It's starting to come out how I want it. Definitely chocolate cupcake. Yeah, you can kind of see a bit of the light areas in there. I may add in a bit of I don't know if it's going to need some black or grey to just deepen up those areas where the shadows are. I may just add a little bit. We'll work it out. See, as I just did, I just coloured over one of the white spots, so don't fret about it if you do so. I'm starting to learn when I make mistakes, I've just got to accept it rather than getting annoyed about it, because it doesn't work getting annoyed. It doesn't. Instead you just end up frustrated and not wanting to do it. So I think just what I'm going to do, where's my black? Oh, my handy dandy little case. You can tell my black pencil's been used way too much compared to the others. It's getting teeny. Teeny weeny. I think I'm just going to do a very light shadow underneath this area and around the top of the cupcakes. So this is black PC935, and you're just doing a very light sort of line just under the cupcake and around the top of where the cupcake muffin is, where the icing would be, basically, and then using the black in those spots. So pretty much, yeah, we're just lightly adding that into these areas. And then we're going to just add a bit of our Tuscan Red and that back over the top, just so that we can blend in these lines a bit more. So it doesn't look like... Well, I guess shadows sort of are direct in some ways, but they're not. I like to try and just blend it in just a little bit. So just adding in a bit of our Tuscan Red PC937, and we're just trying to blend in a little bit of those shadows. We're not worrying about all the other colours so much, we just want to try and make those black lines not look so prominent. And I find you can sort of blend those out by adding another colour back in over the top again. Now I'm just going to find a dark brown to use for those cupcakes. I might actually use this dark Umber PC947, and pretty much all these little white spots, we're just going to use that over those. So we got our little cupcake chips, little chocolate chips in the cupcake. Just adding a little bit of the brown layer over those black spots as well, just to bring them out, since they're coloured over with the other browns. And there's our cupcake base. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to come in with our cupcake paper. And pretty much, I'm not sure, I might just add a little bit of a purple into the shadow areas, just because we sort of, so I'm thinking these sort of pink tones with the cupcake paper, but I'm thinking of adding just a little bit of purple into the end of that, just to sort of make the lines, the shadows sort of more noticeable. So yeah, so what we're going to do, light sources are coming down this way, so probably more of the light's going to be on this upper area, but because of these cupcake ridges, we're going to have to put in shadows and dimensions in amongst these cupcake ridges to actually make them look like proper cupcake papers. Because as you look at it now, like, it kind of has ridges, but it doesn't have much dimension to it. So we want to give it some more dimension to make it pop off the paper. Well, basically. So what we're going to come in with first is a Dahlia purple PC909. And we're going to basically just sort of use that to basically start some shadows. So we want to come all across where these lines are. All around the bottom where the berries are, because that's all shadow areas, and this is kind of our shadow colour that we're using. So all these berries have Dahlia purple shadows around them. And then what we also want to do is where these cupcake ridges are, we also want to bring some Dahlia purple lines up into them to create the ridge for the shadows that we want. Because as we go, we're actually also going to leave some lighter lines up this way, so that it's sort of where the light shadows are coming down from, you can actually sort of still get a bit of dimension in those, but it's just very sort of light line layers there. We want our deeper lines further down. So about this sort of depth for our deep lines, and up above that we want just our lighter lines, just to provide a bit of dimension where the cupcake papers are. So yeah, the light, so yeah, all that would be light. And we're just going to make them slightly shorter. That one was a bit thick. Slightly shorter here, just to do with where the shadows are going. We're going to slowly raise them up, going by the berries and stuff like that. And another pencil I think needs sharpening. That'll be right just for this part, and then we want to add in our light sort of shadows So you'll also notice we're going all on the one side. That's because we want it dark and then going lighter. So because the shadows would be, well, I guess I'm just working out. Light source is coming this way. So shadows would be this side, light would be this side. So what we're going to do is put our shadows there and then bring our light colours over this way. I almost did that wrong. So, yeah. Now we're just bringing those light lines up to the top of the cupcake paper. And we might want just a little bit of those down where our deep shadows are, just to allow them to be blended a bit easier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our Magenta PC930, and we're pretty much going to add some of that up into where these shadows are, just up the top area here, and then we're going to also bring it in. We've actually done the shadows the opposite way, so the shadows are more, oh no, that would be right actually. The way I've done the shadows is right, because as the light reflects, it would actually be shining more on this side of the paper rather than this side, so it's all good. And we also want to blend those down into where we've done some of our lighter sort of tones, so that we could blend the Dahlia purple and the magenta together. That's why we did some of those sort of lighter tones. And we will add lighter tones into these ones too once we're done doing the main shadows. And I'm just going to sharpen that for a minute, because it's getting blunt, which is why it's getting such thick lines. There we go, much or better. But as you all know, I don't like to waste the pencil, so I tend to try and go for as long as possible on the lead once it loses its point. So yeah, we're just adding in our magenta and colouring over some of these shadows. But we're not doing, as you'll notice, we're not doing the magenta all the way up. We're actually only doing it part of the way up, and that's because as we're getting up higher, it's getting lighter, so I don't want those really dark shadows up higher, so I'm gradually easing lighter colours up the cupcake paper, so the shadows are sort of becoming not quite as prominent, and I guess what is it, allowing that light source to show, I guess. And this one would. So I'm sorry about that. It must have been later in the video than I thought. It was only about 20 minutes that I thought it was up to, but it must have been further. I don't know. So if it cut out early, I am sorry. I don't know what happened. I just looked up intending to start this, and it's black screen, which usually means the camera time stopped. So at least it wasn't a dead battery this time. That's something, because I replaced a fresh battery before I started. But as I was saying, I think I am going to go for a lot longer, aiming for close to the 2-3 hour video this time, just because I haven't worked on this for so long and I'm really enjoying it, and I really want to do some more with this video and provide more with this part, because it has been 9 months since it was done. So providing more parts means that, well, more in this video means that as I rotate around between the parts, you still have a decent amount to do with this video. So that's what I really want to do with this, and what I'm going to work on. I think I'm going to work for the lot longer video, so I aim to do these, the berries, the raspberry, the leaves, possibly this cupcake, because you know how long it took me. It took at least an hour and 20 minutes to do the other cupcake icing completely. Maybe the cupcake base and the lemon. We'll see how time goes. But yeah, so next we're coming in with the processed Red PC994, and we're kind of doing similar to before, over all the colours and just bringing it up a bit towards the top. So we're slowly getting these sort of depths, but at the same time we've still got areas for our light sources, and this kind of brings us all the way to the top area with this colour. But that's not a bad thing, because that means we've still got our cupcake sort of ridges and where the shadows are, and then we're going to add some lighter sources in on top of that kind of thing. Oops, and I went a bit thicker there, but oh well, what happens happens. I really love this process red colour. Like, it actually comes in the purples, but I reckon it's more of a pink, so I leave it in the purples, but to me it looks more of a pinky tone, and pink being my favourite colour, well, yeah. Almost messed that up a bit. So now we want to just add in some of our light areas of the processed red along here. And the last colour will actually be Hot Pink PC993, and we're basically just bringing that over all the rest of the colours. So this is basically our lightest colour and provides our light source, our lightest source for the light, so you can see kind of where the reflection has changed the colour. And this works in so well with this cupcake. So pretty. Well, it was worth the days it took to work out what to do, because in the end I have the perfect colour cupcake paper for with my cupcake. Not that you'd do that in real life. Basically you just throw whatever you have on the cupcake and that'll do. Whatever you have in the pantry at the time. And so these shadow areas, we've brought it up, they're actually really sort of, to me it looks like it's kind of angled in and got the cupcake ridges, but it may not look that way to everyone, but that's how it looks to me now with the way I've done this. think I may just add a little bit more of some shadows up in some areas, looking at it as I'm colouring it, because blending it over actually changes the colour and lightens things and stuff when you add the hot pink on top. So we may just go back in and add a little more of our darker red colour, we'll see, just in some areas, or some of our Dahlia purple maybe. But yeah, I think what I'm just going to do is just a little bit of the magenta. We just want to just lighten up, just add a little bit into where some of these shadow ridges are. So just to make sure that the colour depth comes out in them. And we just went over a little bit more with that one and what we wanted to do on that side. So I'm just going to fix that up by just blending in a little bit of the hot pink. And there we go, there's our cupcake paper. I may just add just a little teensy bit more of the magenta around the bottom here too before I forget. Just because this is meant to be a bit of a shadowed darker area. There we go. That's looking good. So next part I'm actually going to come in with, and I need to actually get the colours up on my phone because I took notes from the past video. So the colours, we're going to come onto this raspberry next, I'm thinking. So the colours we used for that were, we need to find our Crimson Lake, which is that one, magenta, which we're just using, and hot pink, which we're just using. And I think there's a colour that I actually missed there. I think that might have been our, I just need to check for a minute, so I'll be back in a minute because I just actually need to check what the colour was, because I forgot to actually grab the, whether it was a violet or a blue or what. Oh, actually, was it the Copenhagen blue? Yeah, it would have been the oh no, wouldn't have been the Copenhagen blue. Yeah, I'm just going to check for a minute because I just realised there's an extra colour in these shadows here and I actually forgot to check that, so I'm just going to go back and check that on the video and I will be back shortly. See you then. So hey everyone, I'm back. Turns out it was the Copenhagen blue. So I was kind of on the point, but yeah. So we're also going to use our Copenhagen blue. So that's our raspberry colours. So what I did last time, I actually came in with the Crimson Lake PC925 first. And basically we used that to just go over any sort of shadow areas. I think, yeah, this is the last raspberry here, so the rest are strawberries by the looks of it. So basically use that, since our shadows are coming down from this way, we've still got some shadow here from the cupcake, so we'll probably have sort of, we've got shadows around most of these upper areas. So we're just bringing our Crimson Lake up here. There might be a bit of shadow there because of the where the light's coming on the cupcake, so we won't put it there too much. We're basically just bringing this in as our first layer of shadow depth, which we'll then overlay with some Copenhagen blue later. Oh, there's, I'm just going to leave this completely darkened, just because it's such a small area. I'm not going to be able to fit any other shades in there. least we worked that out anyway. I'm going to bring in some shading there. So pretty much any shadow areas that I'm considering shadows are kind of areas where there's another sort of berry over the top, or where it would be kind of interconnecting kind of thing. So this spot here would probably, even though I didn't do it with the last one, with this one it would probably, I'd probably consider more having the shadows on this bit, because this is the underlying berry. I'm just going to do the Crimson Lake completely in that spot. But some areas I am just going a bit further with the shadows and the lines than they possibly would go as well. We'll see how we go. I may or may not. I'm sort of was thinking I'd like to go a lot longer, but then I'm thinking about sort of editing time if I want to get it up by tomorrow kind of thing. I may need to do like just the usual hour and 40-minute one. I guess we'll just see how time's going, and I'll just play it by ear pretty much. That I have missed doing this one, and it was always in my mind to come back to it, and same with the others that I hadn't finished, that people might have thought that I wasn't going to finish, but I really was going to come back to them. I just got too caught up in things and got behind, and then it felt overwhelming, and then I was starting other pieces, and yeah. Now we're going to come in with our Magenta PC930. And we just want to add that sort of on top of our Crimson Lake as well. And we want to just add in, if you can, some like little light shades on top of that to make it easier to blend in the next colour. We do. So you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it because it's so small, but basically I'm doing the line with the magenta, and then I'm just doing a really light sort of shading on the top to allow the hot pink to blend in properly when we get to it. And still trying to leave some white areas for the hot pink as well. So I'm trying not to add in too many more pieces of colouring till I sort of catch up on all the parts I'm currently doing already. That's my goals anyway with it all. Probably what I could have done that I didn't think about with the other raspberry was just do it like this and then just do like a white shadow up there for the light sauce. But no, I didn't think of that last time, did I? Oh well. I could have just used a white pencil and created a different sort of texture, but no, I'm going to keep it the same as the others, but I guess it's a possibility for next time rather than using the light pink. But I guess I use the light pink because raspberries don't tend to have those white patches unless they're not properly ripe, so we want a properly ripe raspberry. I'm not so keen on the not properly ripe ones because they're not quite as nice tasting. Next colour will actually be our hot pink PC993, and pretty much as is usual we just bring that in over all the colours. I think, is it all over all the colours? I don't know, I guess so. Well, that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I did that for the top one, but that's how I'm going to do it for this one, so meh. You can deal with it if it's not the same. I actually think this one looks kind of nicer than the top one, so I might not have done it this way. But then, as said, it was 9 months ago I did that, and I've improved a lot since then, so. Because as I say, even though I'm teaching you guys, I'm still learning all the time and still improving my own stuff. I am. I think with this one, I don't know if I did blend all the colours all over the top, I guess. Who knows? And now what we're going to actually do is come in with our Copenhagen blue PC906, and we just want to do some light sort of shadows around where these shadows are. So then we're going to add in some other colours and possibly try and blend them in a bit more, but we'll see how it looks once we've done it, as to if it needs it or not. Because as you'll notice in this one, it's sort of, I've tried blending them in. I'll probably try blending them in again with this one. But we'll just see how it looks once I've got it done. Yeah, I may end up trying to blend a bit in. because I'm messing up some of the lines a little bit. That's the thing with this new way, I still don't quite have it down pat yet. It's getting easier, but yeah, I still do tend to go out the lines on that a lot more with it. As you'll notice here. And I think just what I'm going to do is just bring in a bit of the, I could bring in the Crimson Lake, but I think I'm just going to bring in a bit of the magenta and just try and blend just a little bit of this in, and then use the hot pink over that, just to try and get some of these shadows a bit less prominent, because they are meant to be just shadows, not prominent lines. And lastly, we're going to come in again with our hot pink and just colour over those shadows that we've just tried correcting or adjusting. Not worrying too much about the blue lines, but more just blending in that magenta that we just used to try and correct the blue lines a bit, make them a bit less prominent and more like shadows. And there we go. So next part will be our leaves by the looks of it. So these 4 leaves over here near the lemon. And so for that, where's our colours? I'm just going to shift these before I knock them off the table like I usually do, because I hate when I break the pencil lids. So we need the Parrot green, the Peacock blue and light green for those shadows. So it looks like these leaves are slightly different, but I'm going to do them the same colour, just because I like that colour and I want them the same colour. So yeah, I'm doing them that way. So what we're going to start with is our Peacock blue, and because a lot of our shadows are kind of coming from this direction, we're going to want probably, well, there'd be more shadows obviously where these raspberries and that are, because it's behind these, but we're also going to want a bit more sort of shadows on this side too this time, just because of where the light source is coming from. But we also do want a bit up here, just to make these veins still stand out a bit. So And then we just want to bring in a bit of light areas. So with our Peacock blue. And I might just do all the leaves with the Peacock blue before I add in the other colours, so I'm not having to go over all the different colours so much. So bring it around all these shadow areas kind of thing where you've got shadows. And then these areas up here we sort of want a bit of blue, but not a whole heap because obviously this is sort of our light area. Same for here, it's actually coming from the opposite direction because the light area is kind of in the center, but we're still adding a bit of dark into the center area because we want some of those shadows, shall we say, in the center, highlighting those spine sort of bits of the leaf. And then we're going to do the same for this one here. And I just went over the lemon a little bit, I think. Oh well, what can I do about it? Not much. So we want our shadows coming up here because our light source is coming this way, so this part over here would be shadowed on this leaf because it's sticking up more than these ones here. So these ones here I have shadowed a bit in the edges, but yeah. And a bit up our center area. Here, bit of shadows there. This side they're coming from here, so not from the center. And then we want to add in our lighter areas as we're doing. And I actually think what I'm doing now is better than what I did 9 months ago with this video. So it's probably lucky that it's waited because it gets to be even better than it would have been. But yeah, I never intended to not get it finished, so I'm sorry if people thought that. Which would be to be expected after 9 months of not having done anything with it. So yeah, I probably would have been having the same thoughts if it had been me waiting for it. And there we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come in with our Parrot Green PC1006. And we're basically going to use that Parrot Green over all these spots here. And we're going to want to add in some light shadows of our own with the Parrot Green once we get to those spots. So add in some Parrot Green on the spine bits there and some light shadows. Yeah, wow. There's a huge difference in how I do it now as compared to how I did it 9 months ago. I can already see a big difference in the way I do things. Wow. It just shows me how much I've gotten better at it. Which I guess we're always improving at things we do as long as we keep doing them. And that's a good thing. Now we're back to the first leaves that we started working on with the parrot green. Parrot green. Go, add in our light areas. And now our final colour for these leaves will be our light green PC920. And we're basically just bringing that over all the colours again, blending them all in together. But I can see a huge difference between the way I do this now and the way I did it 9 months ago. 9 months ago you can kind of see the streaks where I've got those lines. And this one, it's like, it looks like it blends in really nicely together to me anyway. So that allows me to see progress that I've made with things too. So I'm really happy I came back to this, and I really do love this image. And I may just have to pause for a minute because it looks like the battery is going to be close to stopping. Not the battery, the recording's going to look to stop. So I will stop it quickly, and then we'll continue with these leaves. And then I'm thinking I may look at starting on this other cupcake, or I may do this lemon. I may do the lemon and start on some of these berries here. I will work it out anyway, so. But I do think this could be cool with like a limeish green or the spring green and some yellow swirls going around it. But yeah, we will work it out as to what we continue with next, and I will be back shortly. So we're back. Basically I stopped and started it again because I didn't want to stop colouring. You can tell when I really love an image because I want to keep doing it, and I don't want to stop even for cooking dinner or anything. I have had times where I've had really late dinner thanks to colouring. So we're just continuing here with our light green and just filling in all the rest of these areas of these leaves. My dog hates it when she gets late tea because of me colouring though. And there's our leaves. Wow, I really like that. I might even do similar colours with these leaves, and just because I really like this colour and I don't want to sort of change these leaves too much except for the strawberries. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue these colours over here, and I might actually move over to this cupcake. We can always come back to the lemon and the berries, I'm sure. Just whilst I've got these leaf colours, I figured I might as well keep going with some of these leaves. There's a few more up there. But yeah, actually what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to, because I'll probably be using similar colours for this cupcake as for the lemon, I'm probably going to just start on the lemon quickly and then continue on to the cupcake icing. We're going to at least do the frosting this time, I'm thinking. But first we'll do the lemon. Might work on some of these berries. We might leave them till next time and do them all in one go. Same for these little leaves. I think I'm going to do them all in one go so that I don't forget the colour and have to look it up again like last time. So let's swap out all these pencil colours. I've got so many pencil colours I'm using for this image. Spring green, grass green, chartreuse and yellow chartreuse. And I think what I'm just going to quickly do a test here. I'm going to shift this out and I'll do this test with you. So I'm going to try doing a grass green first. So we're basically going to do a dark area and then just fade it to lighter. Next we're going to do our spring green and we're going to do all over that colour, test it, fade it to lighter. Then we're going to try a chartreuse. We're going to do that over all colours and fade it to lighter. And then we're finally going to do our yellow chartreuse. We're going to do that over all colours and fade it to lighter. Which that actually looks very similar to the green chartreuse, but yeah, I know you can kind of see the, oh no, they kind of look similar, don't they? But yeah, so yeah, I think that colour tone will work for this cupcake icing. So we're going to kind of do a different coloured frosting to this frosting was sort of more pinks and purples. This one I think we're going to do with our yellows and greens and that sort of thing. So first things first, we're going to come in with our grass green PC909. We're basically going to just bring in like a line of this, like we're looking for the swirl pattern again like we've got on this one. We're basically going to bring in our grass green. We want a bit of shadow behind this bird's head, so we're just going to bring it up over that too. And over behind this cupcake, because there would be a bit of shadow behind this one. And then basically what we want to do is bring it up all our swirls on the bottom. We want the grass green in. And we'll see, we may end up finishing it with the chartreuse green, we may not, I'll just see how it goes. We shall. And then for this one I think I'm actually going to bring the grass green around here just because of these leaves and the berry. This is why I'm thinking of using the same colour leaves over here, because it'll be different to this icing and it won't just blend in with the icing colour. And then we want to bring the grass green in down here. So basically you're just outlining shadows everywhere and going over areas where there would be shadows with the line of the grass green. You may wonder why I'm using the grass green as the shadow. That's because with the yellows and that, the grass green will actually look better for the shadows than the black. The black will just be way too much over the grass green. Well, over the yellows as well. It just like, yes, you got bumblebees with black and yellow, but it would just be too much for this cupcake, because that's not how I want it to look. I don't want it to be overpowered by the shadows of yellow, of black I mean. So sometimes, as I've done in multiple things, you instead go and, shall we say, change the combo to basically use shadows with other colours instead of blacks. Now what we want to do is just add in some very light areas up from, leading up from where we've just done our shadow lines. So just light, trying not to take up too much space this time, because we've still got 3 other colours to add in yet. So we need to leave plenty of white space for those other colours. If we can, but like always, some areas may be too small for all the colours, other areas may not, it just depends. So we're not worrying about the fact that the green original one is still prominent over this lighter area. We just want this lighter area to make it look a little more blended, shall we say. That spot there has a lot less space than some of the others. But as said, some spots will have less space for the colours than other spots. Okay, so that's our grass green done. Now we're going to come in with our spring green PC913, and I think I'm going to sharpen this before starting. This is another colour I've used a lot, as you'll tell from the length. It's getting shorter anyway. And then we just want to come over all those colours so far, and I'm just going to shift those ones. Yeah, I got some sort of spot or something there from it. Oh well, what can you do? And this is why I sort of brought in a bit of those light green lines out, because like you can still kind of see the lines and the streaks, which is kind of what we want, but at the same time it is sort of working in with each other as well. might even use a different yellow, I'm not sure. I was thinking the Charteuse yellow. Yeah, no, I think that would work. I was just thinking you might want a richer sort of yellow than the Charteuse yellow, but then that would blend out the Charteuse green completely, so you probably wouldn't want that. My brain likes to change thoughts partway through things, as you'll be noticing. And then I think what I might do on this one, oh, bright red berries wouldn't work because then they'd be kind of contrasting a lot against this. Oh, they might. Or red and purple berries. That could work. So I was thinking for a contrast for this. But I guess we'll see. Work it out as we go. And we just want to add in some light layers of that spring green on top of where you've just finished doing the lines of green, just to make the next layer easier to blend in again. Some of these spots it looks like they'll be finished with the Charteuse green. So next we're bringing in our Charteuse green, or Charteuse, basically PC989. And I call this Charteuse green because it does kind of have a lot of greenish tints to it, and it does come in the greens, so yeah. That's why I call it Charteuse green when it's just called Charteuse. So excuse me there. Even though some of these areas are just having Charteuse green go over them, I am gonna bring a yellow over them as well, even though they've basically been finished with the, well, basically had the Charteuse green put on them, but I still bring the colours over everything anyway, even if they are completely shadowed or completely filled with the areas. And if you can see the swirl showing prominently kind of thing, that doesn't matter quite so much because we are sort of looking for a bit of that swirly pattern to this cupcake. We are. So it doesn't matter if you can see some definition between where your shadows and that are. It's nice if they're all blended, but even I don't always get them all blended, and it frustrates me to no end, but it's like, well, there's not much you can do about it really. Now we're just going to come in with our chartreuse, yellow chartreuse. We're basically going to bring that into all the areas to the left as well as all the other colours, over all the other colours, so I want that to still be there in the other colours, even if it can't be have a spot showing kind of thing, even though the area is full, just because otherwise it can kind of look funny if you don't blend it into all the areas, because some areas you can tell that it's missing because the colours don't look the same, at least from past experience, which is why even if it is a filled area I still take the colour over that area. I'm just going to sharpen this for a minute. I could feel it hitting the wood as I was trying to do it. So there's our lime green cupcake, and I'm just going to pause it here for a minute. There might be enough time to do the lemon and maybe some of these berries, we'll see. But yeah, so we're starting to get somewhere with it, and I can't show you it properly unless it's there. That's about the best way I can show you at the minute on an angle, just because of the tripod in the way. So yeah, I'm going to pause it there for a minute and we'll come back. I might look at starting the lemon and these berries. We'll see how much time we've got left, and yeah, we'll be back shortly. Bye. So hey everyone, I'm back. About 23 minutes left on this. I think I'll leave it at that just because I want to get this uploaded and recorded and edited and uploaded tonight, overnight while I sleep. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave it about the hour and 40 minutes on. So I've decided the next part I'm going to work on is basically these lemons, and if I have time, start working on some of these berries. I'm trying to still get a rough idea of the colours I want to go with those, because I don't want to do this too similar to the raspberries, so it might be more bluey purples I think for these berries. That's what I'm thinking anyway, and I think that'll sort of work with this lime green, but we'll see how the time goes. First start, we're going to start with our lemon here. So I was just thinking, realised I didn't have any sort of shadow colours for it. Well, I guess it is kind of a shadow colour with this, but I'm just going to quickly find an orange to use for the shadow bit. So what we're going to start with is a Cadium Orange Hue PC918, and we're basically anywhere where there's possible shadows, we're going to use this colour. So we're going to create some deeper areas in that. So I've just decided to leave it about the hour and 40 minutes or nearly 2 hours, just because of the fact that I do want to get this edited and uploaded tonight, because it's been nearly a week since I got the last video up, and I really wanted to get another up. So I can always work on some more tomorrow. Even though I'm supposed to be flicking them around, I'm really enjoying this one. So yeah, it's good. So we're still remembering where our shadows are coming from, which is this way. So we do want to bring a bit of this orange up here too. And we want to add in some more. Make these a bit lighter now. We just want to work up some of our tones, so sort of medium tones closer to where the other oranges are, and then we want to get some light tones in those areas too. So just sort of trying to blend it in a bit. So this is more like, I guess, the colour tones I'm going for is more like a lemonade orange kind of thing, which is a lot brighter orange, yellow lemon. So it's not like your normal greenish yellow lemon that's just the type that you'd buy in the shops. It's more like, it is more like an orangish, yellowish colour lemon. It's a lot brighter colour lemon. And now what we're going to come in with is our yellowed orange PC1022, and we basically want to bring this in over all these orange colours, but also up into its own section. So we're bringing that up so that you can see those colours too, and then we also still want to bring this around a bit here, so there's a bit of like a reflection area here, and then we want to add in just some light spots into that area as well. I'm just going to draw a bit of a line around where I want to bring this yellow to orange up into. I want to bring just a little bit of it up into here as well. And it went over that spot, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. because I'll probably add in some deeper orange where those spots are. Trying not to get my hand in the way too much, but it's just kind of trying to find the right position to get all the colours blended in together. Sometimes awkward. So now we want to bring in some of our light areas of the yellow, mid-tones sort of blending to light. It looks a little more like an orange, but oh well. Oh well. I'm just going to bring it over these spots because I think I might just bring in a bit of a greenish tone where they are. I'm not sure, I'll work it out. Next we're going to bring in our Sunburst Yellow PC917. We want to bring that over all the colours again too. And I'm just more focusing on, shall we say, bringing it over a lot of the colour tones first before bringing it out this time, because I want to make sure that I get that colour tone in there. This is actually a really pretty orange yellow, the Sunburst Yellow. But as you'll see, that orange is creating where we've had a shadow depths in there, which is what we want. And just bringing our mid and light areas around where that was. And then I don't know that I will blend too much of the other colours over there because I've pretty much got the colour depth that I want with that yellow to orange. So I think what I'm going to do with the final colour, which is the canary yellow, I'm just going to mostly bring that in over some of these areas. We'll see, we may bring it over all the colours, but mostly I just want to bring it in over that bit of light yellow to orange. We do. And that's our little lemon. And I think what I might do is leave it at that just because That's 10 minutes. We're probably not going to have enough time to do these berries and to do all the berries. So we'll probably look at that next time. So this is what we've completed so far. I hope you have enjoyed it, and please like, subscribe and comment if you do like what you see here, or if you would like to keep on seeing the parts. Well, I'm sure I'll keep doing the parts either way. But yeah, if you like, please like, subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think, what you might like to see, and I will see you next time. Bye.